units. Not a single hardware was bought from outside. And definitely, as you know, we are under embargo. We cannot buy a US product. We cannot buy any UK product. Only recently, 2 or 3 European countries have started selling to us. But before that, the condition was very poor. So this is where I belong, Department of Atomic Energy, Government of India. And this is our logo, atoms in the service of the nation. So with that, I have made this caption, that robots in the service of the nation. So out of this 61 units, there are 5 research centers, 23 atomic power plants, those are running right now in the country, 2 cancer research and hospitals in Mumbai, 6 research reactors where actually we work for many of the exploratory things, education and teaching 6 units, affiliated research units 7. There are 4 companies or undertaking kind of thing, Government of India undertaking 4, internal production units 4, service units 3, and the regulatory body called Atomic Energy Regulatory Body AERB, which looks after all these activities, including the X-ray centers of our country. You know how many X-ray centers are there in our country. It's a huge number. But all these gets controlled by AERB. So this is our family. And you know the father of this family is Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhava, who unfortunately passed away in 1966 in a plane crash. And otherwise he could have probably guided us for many more years. But anyway, he founded the Atomic Energy program in India after we got independence, and he has a very good friendship with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. They were actually friends. And Pandit Nehru property in Trombay, which is our research center now. Along with Dr. Bhava, there is another gentleman called Dr. Homi Nusratji Setna. I do not know, many of you may not be knowing him. In fact, this year is the birth centenary of Dr. Setna. He was our main translator, I am writing here, of the program. Because Dr. Bhava passed away suddenly. So, Dr. Setna took the activity for 10 long years, maybe 12 years actually, after Dr. Bhava passed away. And today's atomic energy programs, especially the engineering programs, are actually the handwork of Dr. Setna. So I feel honored that in this year, at least we should be able to remember him. And this is where we are. This is the Bhava Atomic Research Center in Mumbai. This is a aerial view. And of course, this you may be knowing, one side is sea and another side is full hill. And this photograph has been taken from the hillside. And these 2 big structures, dome and square, these are our research reactors, very famous. One is Cyrus and another is Dhruva. Okay, so this dome-like structure, this is the Dhruva, and the square structure is the Cyrus. These are the one of the first 2 reactors that we built during Dr. Setna's time. So Department of Atomic Energy has 4 major mandates. One is, the first one rather, the most important one is electricity generation. Our nuclear power program, electricity, the atomic nuclear power, and the technology is nuclear fission. Then second is modernized treatment of cancer, radiation therapy units, and nuclear medicine. You may be now knowing that nuclear medicine is so popular, no? That PET scan, etc. So all these things are done from atomic energy. Then third is in our agricultural program, production of high yield and long-standing, long-lasting food grains. Many of the food grains have been done by us, starting from groundnut, especially in Maharashtra and Karnataka. We have very large fields for those experimental programs. There are a lot of pulses, all 4 types of pulses we have done long-yielding seed production, and also the irradiation program. Can you name the irradiation center that is having in Maharashtra for irradiation and long storage of potato and onion? With this I am questioning you because we are all from Maharashtra. At least you should know, in Nasalgaon we have the plant running for potato and onion irradiation, so that we did not have the cold storage issue. So they can be long lasting. Once those are irradiated at a certain scientific background, then they can be stored for a long time. And then fourth is representative research and new technology. There are many new technologies, robotics being one of the most important, but there are others like nuclear fusion, hydrogen production, isotope technology, and solar thermal power program, etc. etc. So this is where this clean and safe, reliable, affordable energy source is the nuclear power source. And these are our four important pillars of R&D units: BARC in Mumbai, Aakar in Kalpakam, RRCAT in Indore, and VCC in Kolkata. And all these things are getting tuned up through our nuclear power program stations called NPCI, Nuclear Power Corporation of India Limited. So this is the mandate of the DAE. This is the old document from where I took this kind of a scanned copy, where this was done during the Dr. Bhabha's time. They got into the mandate of the DAE after independence, and it is written, the robotics, the term robotics was written in that mandate also. That is the very interesting part. In fact, when I read this thing, fortunately through an old document, I was surprised that in 1960s they could conceptualize the robotics ideation. So this is the status of our mandate, and this is the way our organization is distributed. The head is Atomic Energy Commission, which takes all the decisions related to atomic power program of our country, and then there are other administrative and other blocks. So these are some of the screenshots, some of the photographs of different technologies. These are apart from robotics. Robotics anyway I will tell you in detail. But other technologies, like there is a waste management technology called Nisarguna, then hydrogen sludge hydrogenization, plasma pyrolysis. Many of the things, many details I am not going, but these are all for clean and green energy mission of Government of India. And these are our structures. Already I have mentioned, so I am not going to the details. But if someone is interested, you can take it from my slide. And these are the different logos. So the idea is all our units are that way autonomous, in the sense that they can take their own decisions. So all these have separate logos, and they are actually separate units. Only the DAE is the binding umbrella. Along with Dr. Bhabha, there are two pioneering scientists and who are associated with atomic energy. So IAEA, India is a respectable member of IAEA. And this is our presence. You can see the whole map of India is blurred with our activities and our centers. So almost in every state we are having our presence by some of the centers. Okay, let us come back to the robotics. As you can see that it is already mandated in DAE for robotics research. Now this part of this technology is one of the newest field of science and technology. It happened nearly 102 years ago in 1920. And modern day robotics, of course, is blossomed after the Second World War. And in our country, in the 1980s, in the decade of 1980s, this studies and little bit of R&D started. In fact, fortunately, I was just a student, in standard 10, I think, 8 or 10 that time. So Bart of robotics, father of robotics, was not an engineer, not a technologist. This is the point I am harping, that anybody can do any good thing if you have the passion. He was just a kind of a Czechoslovakian playwright and a noveler. But his name is Karel Čapek. Now this gentleman Karel Čapek introduced the first term robotics in his play called Rosam's Universal Robot in 1920. So this is a very, very, you can say, milestone activity of Karel Čapek. And the term robota in Czech language means slave, and he took it from that particular language. And this term robot was introduced first by Karel Čapek, and his play was basically whether the human will be getting exempted by these human-like machines like robots, that kind of a thing. Karel Capek's elder brother Joseph Capek, in fact, he was also quite associated with his brother's dad because the robots are winning over the humans. But actually, it is not true in today's thing. That Ariyuvar's final effect is not true was first scientifically proved by Sir Isaac Asimov. So from Asimov's time, actually, the formal robotics started, and Sir Isaac Asimov wrote a very interesting science fiction book called I, Robot. It was published in 1950, where he gave 3 laws of robotics. Like Newton's laws, robotics also has 3 laws, and even today, all our designs of robots, even in the commercial field, are guided by these 3 laws of robots. So the first law is a robot may not injure a human being or through its inaction allow a human being to come to harm. So robot cannot injure a human being. So the proposition happened in Karel Capek's novel was ruled out in first law. Second law, a robot must obey the orders given by human being. So it must obey the orders, and in fact it cannot go beyond the orders also. No artificial intelligence cannot be more than human intelligence. And the third law is robot must protect its own existence, etc. But presently robotics has got lot of changes, especially from 2018 onwards, and which are basically the cloud infrastructure. And you know that many new things have started with the server and client-based technology. Lot of humanoid robots, mobile robots, advanced mobile robots, lot of manipulations, surgical, etc. These are with the cloud infrastructure. There are various groups of robots. In fact, it's not possible for me to go through that details, but you can just know the titles like static robots for industrial applications, mobile robots for home application, outdoor and indoor applications, mobile robots with manipulators, bio robots, underwater robots, flexible, compliant. So these are some of the graphs, the top users of robot by country. So still China is leading, and India has to come up with their activities. These are industrial growth of robots which happened during 1990 to 2023, mostly from our country and so these are, you have all seen these pictures. But another important thing is deeper and integrated technology. That is the reason the first batch of projects which I offered to this college was with deeper. And in fact, there are many developments happening in case of deeper and in effectors, starting from magnetic grippers to sensor actuated grippers, etc. Teleoperation is a vital part of any robotic operations, and you can see as soon as the Second World War broke and nuclear power get exposed to the world, the teleoperation of the robotic system started, and it is still going on, and we are already having the virtual reality and internet, etc. Internet robotics for these days. This is just a glimpse of my very first robotics research at Tata Steel in Jamshedpur. The whole magnetic gripper was designed by me. And of course that robot was bought from UK because that time there was infrastructure in our country. This is, I am telling, 1993 to 95, this kind of a timeline. So in 1993 I joined there and started designing this paper. And it was commissioned in the shop floor of Tata Steel Automation Division, and I did a lot of experiments with that. This is the structure and the layout of the robot system installed. And this is the gripper which was designed by me, and it is taking the rings from the shop floor. So this why I am showing this thing. There is a lot of difference between doing work in a laboratory and an actual application space. And you can see the fascinating pictures. And I wrote my book on these activities also. You can see this book. Both these books are with mostly with the activities which I did with Thursday and so this growth, indigenous grown-up phase, that point is important, the indigenous grown-up phase of robotics, which actually chronologically is from roughly from 2015 to today. And you see that from the time of Karal Kapil Aliwal to Chandrayaan 3.0, so this is a huge time where Bhabha Atomic Research Center played a big role. Even in Chandrayaan also we are actually the background designer of this lander Vikram. And all these photographs are actually our indigenous developments of robots in different time zones. So this picture is now known to you. The point here, why I have shown here, it is just to harp that everything is achievable. And in the Chandrayaan team of around 150 odd scientists and engineers, and in fact, interestingly, majority of them are ladies. And they are all from very ordinary engineering colleges of our country. But they are the actual success. So the chronological stages of this robotics technology in our country is something I was telling that it started from the decade of 1980. Then it passed to in 1990 with small research activities in government lab. Then in decade of 2000 we are having some deployment-centric research started. Decade of 2010, these are more various institutions are coming in the venue, and we are having the projects and all. And the present decade or 2020 decade is essentially the amalgamation of various allied technologies like artificial intelligence, virtual reality, machine learning, augmented reality. So let us come to the pictures of robots that are used in atomic power station. The first and foremost, our bread and butter is master slave manipulators. These are used in hundreds of numbers in all atomic power stations of our country. And it is the first successful remote manipulation technology of India. And it is all indigenous technology, complete indigenous technology. And first working Indian prototype was built in 1960. And they are working 24/7 in all 23 atomic power stations in India. And this was the actual structure of this. That means if you have something command in master, the slave will be doing the job. And these are various designs of master slave robots. Some details are there. So essentially it is a complex structure which is having 6 axes. And there is a gripper which is also a very interesting design. And this getting controlled by several engineering instrumentations and all. The second important robotic technology that is used in atomic power station is known as joystick technology, which is actually a scientific feature known as kinesthesia. And this technology was first experimented for bilateral teleoperations in 1990 at Bath with collaboration from Jabalpur University, and in fact this is my PhD research program. So I was very much confident that things can be done, and I will be finally aiming some good work for the atomic energy. So this is actually taken from my old photograph of doctoral work. Next important technology that we developed in 1990s, end of 1990s rather, just the time when I joined atomic energy, is called telepresence, which is the first step of the technologies for virtual reality and augmented reality that you are always hearing in several quarters. But the essence of that, what is the mother of this VR and AR, is nothing but telepresence. How we can feel that I am there. So basically, as you know, the head-mounted displays and all, so the indigenous part of that was developed at our institute in 1990s. Then the second step is haptic interface. That was also tried. This was a collaboration between BARC and IIT Kanpur, again in a similar time. Because that time I just joined the energy. Then early 2000 was another interesting milestone of our activity, which is still used in the atomic power station. It's called automatic automated guided vehicle. So this is the first AGV that was developed, and you see that time there was no imported substitute. We were not allowed to take anything. And you see the first model was very basic model with all basic sensors and motors and all. But it is the first indigenous working prototype in India. Around 2007-8, that time under the 10th 5-year plan, we developed the first indigenous autonomous robotic system for various applications. Then this master slave or mobile robot, etc., the other technology that we are actually researching in theory is the medical area. So for the medical manifold, the total deployment scheme is something like that, and out of that, there are 5 verticals which were robotic technology, medical science. Out of these 5 verticals, 3 verticals, 1, 2 and 3 are actually research and prototype being made at atomic energy. One thing I will start with the cancer therapy, which is called teletherapy machine, and the machine that we made is known as Aakar. Some of you may be hearing the name. So the first version of Aakar was developed in early 2010, and now Aakar 2 has come in the market, and it is there in Tata Memorial Hospital in Parel and Khalwar in Navi Mumbai. And we have given this thing to several cancer hospitals in our country. Almost all rural and semi-rural cancer hospitals are working. And also we have given it to several neighboring countries like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, 1 or 2 African countries, Maldives, etc. The next important medical research that we did is for laparoscopic surgery, which was done in the area, I think timeline is very enabled gripper and also a kind of a flexible manipulator for that. So we studied on several tissue samples, not exactly the biological tissue but artificial tissue-like structures, and it was done in our lab. This is the actual photograph of the lab. On the Aakar robot, we made that laparoscopic end effector, and then we did the working and the experiments. So this is also one very ingenious development. With that background and the knowledge that we gathered from these laparoscopic things and all, I started thinking that why can't we make a total flexible robot? And this is the thinking, and after that thinking, I developed the first version of the flexible multi-beam slender robot called PAR, patient assistant robot, which I will show the video soon. And it was my fundamental work in 2018. And so of course it took time. It is not that easy that from laparoscopic end effector to a full-fledged robot. So this is the way it works. It is basically for the healthcare sector arrangement. So my idea was that in our healthcare sectors in our country totally neglected. In primary health center, in villages, there is not even a doctor. I mean, forget about doctor, not even a nurse probably. So how can robot be helpful to that? So these are some of the details. So I am skipping it, and this is how it looks like, a very long robot, and it is there in YouTube, which can also see. I will show the video. This is how it looks like. A lot of engineering details are there, but I am skipping. Okay. The other, I think the video is coming in the next slide, but before that, after this part, I developed another robot in 2020 time during the COVID time, in fact, which is flexible universal modular robot, which is a very low cost robot. It is the costing is only 75,000, and it is a single link robot with lot of sensors. Full controller is developed by me and our team, and it is the Government of India project actually. So this is the first of this kind of a monolith flexible modular robot, and having the link as good next time. These are some of the designs that we conceptualized, some engineering activity and all. Let me go to. After that, there is the next group of activity that is, in fact, it is still going on. It is called FlexPar. At the end of this lecture, I will show the latest development of this FlexPar with a video. Then you will understand it is a very flexible fitting assistant robot. The film on the earlier one was appreciated very much in media. It was a news clipping and cutting. It was a joint project with United Aakar, and the paper etc. was manufactured by me. And during those time, 16 to 20, there are many developments done by my group in the compact robot. Three versions, three types were made under version 1, and now we are going for version 2 of this. And these robots are very specific and design wise and construction wise also. So let us see this video.
स्पीकर लेवल
ठीक है, no issue. Just try to observe the movement of this fellow. Yes, I think it is coming. That's fine. It is just a background, but just to make you more at home. See, this total length is 1.2 meters. So it is not a very easy task to control a gripper, small gripper at the end of this 1.2 meter of a long hand. So my challenge was, let me try with the maximum possible challenge and do the job. And you see, it will give this syringe. And this is the smallest gripper that you can ever think of. Its length is only 50 mm, width is 35 mm, and depth is 15 mm. So it is, nobody has even tried conceptualizing this small gripper. It is there in my lab at Bar. In fact, the next version of this gripper was also developed with lot of sensors. And in fact, the first batch of projects that I gave in this college was basically for some GUI development for that. Related to that, GUI was developed, but I wanted them to have a separate thing. Right now, this gripper doesn't have any sensor because manufacturing was itself in a trouble, challenge actually. So, from programming point of view also it is very challenging. So, each and every coordinate has to be, assessed by the robot kinematics. And I told my juniors that you have to write the program in such a way, and a delicate way, that you can show all the movements. So, it is showing that how nicely I can fold my arms and do the job. So this fellow is like an old man, no? Our old elderly citizens' hand always shakes. So it is shaking. And you will see, after all these movements, this robot will keep the syringe in the same position where from it picked. Is it all okay? I am speaking Hindi, or shall I speak in Hindi? Are you able to understand it properly? Yes. In case the students fail, I can at least try in Hindi. So you can, because you are from all computer applications areas, so you can think that how delicately I can program it, or what are the R&D that I can do in writing the program. so that it can have the task. So the idea is there is one point, engineering aspect I probably missed. You saw there is some stand. So it is essentially there is the up-down movement possible. So this robot is meant for some kind of a nursing. In the hospital bed, patient is lying in the bed. So you can adjust the height of the robot to the patient's bed. And then this fellow can give the patient any food or tablet or something like that. So that is the idea. And in fact the next version is or version 2 is already built, but it is under patent, so I am not showing it. And we have taken a lot of suggestions from doctors at Pune and other places that how we can improve the things. So this is another robot which I did during the similar time, and you see the compliance of these fellows. The links are differently. You won't be finding this kind of a link in any robot. You search in the YouTube, I can guarantee you will get my robots. So the point is the design of the link is unique, it is patented, and you can see the gripper has a curve just like something like our hand, our fingers and also little curve. It is not a straight. So I designed with a curved kind of a jaw. And you see there are various modulations. In fact, I have given only one video here. There are many videos that what it is giving water on the glass, etc. So this is also one of the very successful initial ideation level compliance there for my development. There is another, a few more that robot that I was initial experiment was done here at the lab level. And you see how the gripper is, link and gripper is moving. This time the link is bent because it is fully flexible. Actually, it was the initial trial level phase that whether my system is working or not. So that kind of a thing. I will show. This video is a more formal video. Important robotics. So you can see the performance of this full effect robot. It can be at any locations of the limb, up or down or any other location. It has a very nice GUI also, and that was one of the important R&D that we did because we had online sensor data and they are being controlled, etc. So it was a project from. Okay, so basically all these new designs which are we are doing for flexible robots. Essentially, these are actually for patient assistant devices meant for rural healthcare infrastructure or alien elderly citizens for their food intake. And finally, this will go to one of my dream projects in next couple of years, robotic wheelchair. So basically for wheelchair bound differentially able persons, for them we can do these things. And these compact volume flexible robots are much more efficient compared to the big industrial robots because they work in a very compact workspace and do the jobs. These are some of the glimpses of the next version of the robot, the sensor instrumented gripper, and this is the gripper that was given, the GUI development of this gripper was given to the first batch of the students of this college as a separate activity, and the test hardware you have already seen in the video. So these are very, very small things, and there are 7 sensors attached to that small gripper. Okay, so with that controller, command or admin, I ventured in another interesting area called bio-inspired robotics, and I developed compliant biorobot. And I was inspired by the locomotion of live heat. And you see, the manufactured prototype is also having the capability of going through a very small conduit and all those curvatures. This fellow has small, very tiny legs, and then it is going there inside. So almost like a leech in true sense, and it is very, very small. The diameter of this robot is only 15 mm. And there are several experiments done how they can go, and you see the scale is there to really measure the movement that fellow is going. The idea came to my mind from a biology basically around the year 2015-16. So I was passionate. I was reading a biology document, actually a paper, where they are showing that red RBC, red blood cells, they actually move autonomously in the blood fluid by their sedations. So that was the idea, that how can I also develop a very small biorobot with the motion of that. So I started reading a lot of biology documents and literature during that time, and then I got a flavor of whatever is being done. So this is the biology part, the right hand side, and the left hand side, the engineering part, that how I started modeling those activities. I think the videos are there, I will show. And this is the little larger size crawling type biorobot. So I told my students that you first develop a little bigger size cardboard se banao. So that was my idea. Whenever I get an idea, I tell that you do a very modest model, and then you see whether the technology is working or not. Then I can go for many more things. So that was the idea. In fact, the leech crawler which you just saw in the earlier slide, the mother prototype is that, working the things is something. Okay, this is anyway mathematics I am giving it. And there is a, this is the crawling and this is the rolling kind of a robot that I developed. And there is some kind of a physics also involved to that. Anyway, these are I am skipping it. And you can see the motions of this rolling type of biorobot is that. Now the left hand side beams are opening itself. And in the phase 1, the outside diameter of the prototype was made for 85 mm, and the challenge for this was we have to make the internal inspection of our pipeline. That was actually the original application problem. So the internal inspection of any pipeline is a very delicate task, because outside you can have a lot of other devices, but internal is difficult. So those were the challenges. And you see a lot of iterations happen. Initially, we were not getting the exact desired outcome, but we tried that how autonomously I can roll this fellow over the structure. So there are several small iterative things happen, and these are the small videos for those. So finally, what we got in the phase 2, we could successfully reduce the diameter to 50 mm, which is our own desired thing. And you see there are a lot of changes the design also. And I think this is the video. And you can see this fellow is autonomously moving in a much larger speed. And the control is going by the teacher, the small van. Okay. So, and in one interesting seminar, I was asked by a young student, that's whether anybody is pushing that controller. So it is not that, it is autonomously moving. So, with this basic ideation, we have this thing. So, and this was my own hand drawing things of the thing. So I generally, if I take a new project, I just draw the concept things in a pen and paper. And that was done in the July 2018, the same thing. So this is a lesson for the student. Whenever you go for any design, be it in your GUI or any program, you first draw or write down the schematic on your own. So this intentionally I show to encourage the students. So this was my first drawing, that what will be my final structure. 120 mm, there will be a sliding zone, sticking zone and all those things. So full idea should be clear to you from the first day. With that concept, we developed the segments, and the first is crawling segment was actually a cuboid shape 20 mm side. So you can see the smaller version of this fellow, and it will have two legs and miniature DC servomotor driven with the camera fitting arrangement and the teacher. And this was tested for all horizontal pipeline, the video I will show. And it is also with our technology collaborators association, and YouTube video is there. And I think this is the video. So you see the video. Now this fellow is autonomously going inside the pipe. And the pipe has a full bend. It is not a straight pipe. But it is able to navigate. Its programming is made in such a way that it is able to navigate the things. So it can have planar locomotion in both straight and curve. Now you see it is retracing back. So it is commanded in such a way that it will go forward, it will retrace back. Because see, I cannot afford my robot to get stuck in the pipeline, no? Then our whole job is lost. And this is one of the test videos, but I think one of the initial test videos. Afterwards, we tested the also and for other instrumented video. Okay, so this is the end of almost the end of the thing. So I will show a special video which is the latest of our development, the feeding assistance robot, the third version in fact, which has been just we got it ready in this July 2023. It is still not there in YouTube, but I will show the video because this video is very large. So I will show it separately from the computer. You see there were, right now this robot is working successfully for 2 food items. And 2 food items we have taken as a grain pulverized, like rice and dal in this case. And these 3 subjects, these 3 patients are actually not really able to do, they have a lot of medical problems. So these are not very easy tasks because from the image processing point of view, one has to take the face image, the location of the mouth, eye and all those things. Was made with I will be just taking it more or less from 2016 to 2022 and 23. Some is not fully updated, but it is there. And the last thing I just want to say, there are some thinking issues which is very important for the students, particularly that applied science, there is a spelling mistake in engineering. Applied science versus indigenous technology is very important. So whenever you are thinking of indigenous technology, you cannot forget the science part of it. And upliftment of indigenous technology should be the first recognition for Atmanirbhar Bharat. As you can see that there are a lot of kind of slogans for Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India and all, but unless and until we have the indigenous technology, we cannot do anything of that. And it is essential to have a complete indigenous technology. And it is also essential to have application-centric research. And precondition for accepting indigenous technology is scalability, affordability and usefulness. So unless and until it is scalable, affordable and useful, that technology may not be able to do the job for that long. And also important to have a global benchmarking of the developed technology. See, I cannot say that my things is good unless and until I make it in a global platform. So with that, I am ending, and we are hoping that we can make this domain of flexible robot system or assistive robotic systems more vibrant, more useful. Thank you very much.